Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. This show just doesn't test the patience of the participants. In fact, it revolves around their commitment and their honesty as well. If you're a fan of this show, then you must know that it's pretty suspenseful to see which patient, if and how, will try their best to lose their weight, and who will give some lame excuses in a bad way just to look fair. Anyways, in today's video, you'll see some of my 600-pound life patients who were caught lying. Bethany Stout. Bethany Stout, at the age of 40, appeared in season 8 of the show, and she was that contestant who was quite honest about her compulsive overeating and her food addiction as a crutch for her anxiety. But when Dr. Now asked her if her husband, Sheldon, is the one who's been enabling her by bringing the junk food, she lied by immediately saying no to it. But the fact was totally different, as during the opening segment of Bethany's episode, we see him feeding her with a bunch of unhealthy food. Not just that, she even showed off on cameras on her episode how well she's been doing by following her diet. But it was revealed on her next appointment that she was lying, as her results say something else. When she weighed in, because the results weren't promising, with only a 14-pound loss. Throughout her entire episode, Bethany didn't miss a chance to lie or claim that she'd been sticking to the 1,200 calories and continued to lie about this. But at last, she gave up before tearfully quitting the program and broke down at the end after telling Dr. Now over video call that her cravings for fast food have been too much and she can't control herself. It was very tragic to absorb. Holly Hager. Holly appeared on the show when she was 38 years old. On the show, she admitted that she literally lives her life to eat food, and now she doesn't want to stop her eating habits as she's totally addicted to food so much. By the way, on her episode, when Dr. Now asked this former bypass patient Holly to go through her daily diet, she immediately came out of the situation by taking help of white lies. She shared with Dr. Now that she eats breakfast and lunch at home, but the reality isn't this. Failing to mention the entire extra meal as we have seen her claiming in her intro when she said that she's often still hungry right after doing breakfast, so she went out to get takeout food with her fiancé Ray. Now it's up to us, to viewers, to believe her or not about her sugar-free jam thing. She shared that she eats sugar-free jam and the rest of the supposed food she consumes a day. But as Dr. Now has been in this business, he knows who's lying or not, so he pointed out that it's still a lot. But as she claimed that she uses sugar-free food, then how can someone be anywhere near to 700 pounds after being that conscious of his or her diet? So it's obvious that Holly lied. Later on, when it was revealed that she only lost 29 pounds of the 50-pound goal that Dr. Now set for her during her weigh-in appointment, Dr. Now also did some math, which revealed that she must have been still eating at least 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day. Well, not just that, as at the second follow-up appointment, Holly has only lost 18 pounds. And for not meeting her expectations, she blamed her inescapable obsessive thoughts that repeated in her mind. Nicole Lewis. 23-year-old Nicole started off her episode weighing close to 700 pounds. In her episode, she claimed that she felt humiliated when she really needed to have to get hosed down on the back porch by her boyfriend Charlie. That's why she hates her whole body. You must be thinking that it would have motivated her, but it was never the case with Nicole. Well, when she was asked to explain how she got this much of her weight, she immediately shifted the blame away from herself to her family. She claimed, if I can say that her lame excuse was, that her family kept feeding her with fast food around a lot of the time, and because of her immobility, she can't stand up and cook something else for herself. Therefore, she has to essentially be forced to have takeout food. But Dr. Now didn't buy her statement, and therefore, he asked her boyfriend Charlie to know about his side of the story. So, he claimed that he and Nicole's mother are forced to feed her whatever she asks for, and they're the ones who bring the food. If not, she'll get upset or mad at them. Now, well, it isn't entirely a lie to say that Nicole's surroundings at her home have actually contributed significantly to gaining weight, since her family hasn't changed their own eating habits at all when she was supposed to follow her diet regime. But this is nothing but an unconvincing excuse, as it's pretty obvious that she's responsible for her own weight gain, but she had far more of a hand in it than she's willing to admit. Nicole also missed her Dr. Now's second appointment under the stress of hunting for a house and job in Houston. So to cope with that stress, she ate a cheeseburger and claimed that as she's been holding back for so long, according to her, this little bit of cheating will not cause much damage. Robert Bushnell. 41-year-old Robert Bushnell, weighing in at 842 pounds, moved to Houston, Texas with his fiancée, Catherine, to be easily monitored under Dr. Now's supervision. During Robert's episode, when he finally decided to visit Dr. Now's place, he had to be transported to Houston to meet him. While at their meeting, after his arrival at this place, Dr. Now asked Robert to jot down all the medications or any sort of pills he's been taking currently. Once he mentioned all the medications he had been using, Dr. Now somehow became incredibly concerned about him. He said that Robert has been taking way too many painkillers, and he shared that he is majorly addicted to painkillers more than just food. But Robert claimed that he's been using painkillers for the pain in his leg, and he takes the smallest possible dose for this, but later on it turned out that was a very, very big lie. So to find out what was right and where they were lacking, Dr. Now decided to run some tests on him. So after getting the results, he finds out that Robert's whole body system is full of the highest amount of painkillers that he or the hospital had ever seen. Despite all those good movements he made under Dr. Now's supervision, he again became depressed and got addicted to painkillers. Then Dr. Now took him off his painkillers as he was already taking them too much, but he started claiming that he feels so much pain that he couldn't move now. In fact, he tore his stitches just to get his pain medication. Therefore, Dr. Now suggested that he should go back to rehab, where he refused to walk or even move. After some time, he tragically died of a heart attack. Shen Marie. A participant who appeared on the show who weighed 665 pounds was Shen Marie, who was quite problematic, rigid, and stubborn. In her childhood, she was sexually abused and she faced miscarriages and the bacterial infections in her legs. All these reasons made her binge eat. On the show, her relationship with Dr. Now wasn't great, as she always seemed rude to him, even though his mere intentions were to help her, but she always refused to follow him and started gaining more. During her stay in the hospital, the staff had noticed that her husband Freddie was sneaking fast food like pizza and cheeseburgers. I mean, definitely all those things that Shannon wasn't supposed to have, at least. Well, when Dr. Now found out about it, he immediately confronted both Shenny and Freddie. To interrogate them regarding this incident, he came in storming in the room with some damning evidence. Although Shenny tried her best to desperately claim it was Freddie who was eating the junk food, Dr. Now became so mad at her as she was lying. He dropped the pizza box, pointed the finger of truth at her to remind her that since day one, she hasn't lost any weight. In fact, she's gained about 50 pounds. He also made sure to inform her that he also knows about the secret burgers too, and her clever scheme of hiding the evidence in another patient's trash bin. But despite all that, Shenny stubbornly denied that she had been eating any junk food. Not just that, she even hilariously said at one point that she hasn't been having anything at all for so long. Gene Covey. Dr. Now tried to get an idea of Gene's activity and diet after the initial weigh-in at 702 pounds. So after he got to know about her weight, he immediately gave her the side eye when she claimed that she doesn't eat lunch normally. Not just that, she also claimed that after dinner, she just eats oranges and doesn't eat anything else other than this. Keep this thing in your mind that she said all after we saw her stuffing her stomach with tons of sausages and burgers. I mean, what was she thinking while telling a lie? Therefore, Dr. Now asked her mother, and she listed off some relatively healthy sounding things, including, again, lots of oranges. But during her whole episode, we, viewers, mysteriously never see anyone eating oranges. Like, I've watched the whole episode, and I did not see even a single orange. Later, during another weigh-in appointment, when Gene found out that she'd gained 30 pounds instead of losing some, she started claiming that it was due to going over 1,200 calories in just one day. But if you really give a thought about it, then you'd get to know that it was nothing but a cheat day of about 100,000 calories. So yeah, Gene, you were lying. That's all guys for today with my 600-pound life patients who were caught lying. Thanks for watching the video.